Absolutely Cars here, and welcome to the channel. Today guys, we do have something very particular for you today. As promised in our last video that we did about the Honda Civic Type R, as you can see, I am currently sat in the Honda Civic Type R GT, should I say. So on the last video I said that I would make a kind of review video about the car. When I did do the last video, the collection day video for you guys, that was literally just a collection and my opinion on the car. It wasn't an in-depth review or anything like that. It was just kind of just an overall look at the car, what I thought about it at the time, and I said I would basically do you a video. Now, the last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy, in the sense that me and my partner basically are in the middle, or were in the middle of purchasing a new house. And basically, cut a long story short, Gatwick Honda lent me this car for about 4 days, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was brilliant. It's a brilliant little car. It's just fantastic handling. The gear sticks, it's just, I freaking love it. It is absolutely phenomenal. It handles so well, and I just fell in love with the car. And me and my partner were like, do you know, this car is amazing, it's really cool. So I went down to Gatwick Honda, explained to them that I really like the car. It's a test car. What can you do? Is there anything you can do for me so I can purchase this car, knock a bit of money off, etc, etc? And they did exactly that. So I ended up buying this car off them, which is pretty crazy considering they meant to lend it to me, and then I ended up buying it off them for a pretty reasonable price, which was really good of them to do that. But the problem is, and the issue is, we've slightly come to a little problem. And the problem is, when we was purchasing our house, we thought it would be around about 4 to 5 months. So we thought, yeah, we'll buy the car, we'll have a bit of fun out of it, we can sell it and make most of our money back, which is good because we loved it. It was practical, it was good, put some mileage on it, etc, etc. It'll help us out a lot. But the house actually came through quicker than we expected. So we have now finalised the house. The house is now bought. The house is now ours. We own the house. But the problem is it has a driveway, and the driveway can fit up to about 6 cars. Now that's pretty tight. Like, that's with very, very, very minimal space. Okay. Now, had another car into the collection would just be completely ridiculous. So we've looking at the scenario and decided that only after a matter of a couple of weeks we're going to have to sell the car. Now, fortunately for us, we know a good dealership. We've looked around where we can sell the car, try and make our money back. And there's been a dealership that deals in high-end luxury cars based down in Chichester. And these guys are called Targa Florio. Now, they've offered to sell this car for me at a very reasonable price, and it basically means that not only will I get my money back, but I will also make a little bit of a profit out of it. Not much, but I will make a profit. So I've had the car for a few weeks, I've had a bit of fun out of it. I get to sell the car on to someone that's going to enjoy it and have the space to have it, and I want to make a bit of money out of it at the end of the day. So it really, really is, or has worked out quite well. Now, we've taken the car out for a few drives since then, and the car is absolutely filthy. This is why I'm in the car now. We're taking it to the garage, or to a washer and dryer, to get the car cleaned. But looking at the sky at the moment, it looks like it's going to rain. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens today. Now, once this car has been cleaned, I'm going to drive it out, take it for a little drive, and give you guys a bit of an in-depth review about it. I'm no expert by any means, but I'll try my best to give you as much knowledge about the car as possible. It's going to be more about my opinions on the car, of how it handles, how it performs, not really a review about what you should buy for the car. because I think you should definitely buy this sort of car, because it is absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible. So I will do that in just a moment, once I've got the car washed. Obviously, if you want to watch the car getting washed, I'll add that in the video as well. These guys do a fairly good job at cleaning the car. I do take my cars there to get cleaned, and they're not professional by any means. Well, I'd say they are professional, but they're no detailers or anything like that as such. So it'll be interesting to see that on the video and your guys' reactions on them cleaning the car. But anyway, I will see you at the wash and dry, guys, to get the car washed and cleaned, and then we'll go from there and take the car for a little bit of review and an in-depth analysis about the car, or as much as possible, my opinions on what I think about the car, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'll see you soon, guys. So guys, the car has now been cleaned, and I decided, rather than take this for a drive, we'll take it back to Honda to do more of an in-depth review on this car and kind of my opinions. Now, I've taken this car for a drive, as you know, and I absolutely love it. And one thing that was immediately obvious, it may look every bit as outrageous as the outgoing model, but underneath this great exterior of a car, elevated rear wing and triple bazooka style exhaust, lies a car with a very different character indeed. It only takes 100 metres to sense that Honda has listened to both the market and the media over criticisms of the old car. Because as we know, guys, the old Civic was okay, but it had a lot of flaws. The ride is considerably more subtle as well. I feel like it's smoother to drive around corners. It handles better. It's with much more sophisticated gate in the new comfort setting that should be made and make it hardly any more taxing than the daily use of a Golf GTI. Now, obviously, the Golf GTI is completely in the same category with all the hot hatches. You've got the RS3, the Ford Focus RS, and the Golf GTI. And obviously this Civic is within that category of cars, within the hot hatches, but it has a really, really comfortable setting. The seats are incredible to sit in. Now, I own, obviously, from you guys aware, if you watch my channel, I own the AMG A45, and after about 20 minutes that feels so uncomfortable to sit in. Now, you can adjust the lumbar support and etc on that car, but it just, after a while, it just feels very uncomfortable. Now, with the Civic, you don't feel that. You don't feel that at all. It feels very, you feel very comfortable in your seat. You feel very planted in the seat. Now, everyone's different. Everyone has different build, etc. I mean, I'm not exactly a small guy. I'm 6 foot bang on almost, and I'm quite a tall guy, and I'm quite a large build, and yeah, I feel very, very comfortable in this car. But as we know, the shell of the new Civic is much more rigid, and this is immediately apparent. The structure feeling incredibly sturdy, and refinement, whether wind, road noise, or from the engine, is greatly improved. Now, when you drive this car, it does feel more improved. It doesn't sound so, like, the noise isn't as great as it was as the old one. In fact, there's almost no noise at all. It is an incredibly sturdy car. It is brilliant. I mean, the return of the multi-link rear axle has clearly paid dividends to this car. You know what I mean? And both sport and even in our racing model, R Plus mode, as they call it in the car, are exploitable on the road. Remember, the latter was all about the unusable before. So when you have the Type R mode in the excuse me, in the previous model, it was crap. It just didn't work. It just didn't have that. Those modes just wasn't responsive at all in any way. And obviously now in this new car, they've completely transformed that. In fact, it's so refined as the new Type R over the old one, that it's easy to forget that you're driving a car that looks quite so outrageous. The car does look absolutely ridiculous. It's a crazy, crazy car. Nevertheless, up your pace and the Type R response in kind and true fashion. The car is very, very, very responsive. It is an absolutely outrageous car. It is now a scorchingly quick car, point to point, with less turbo lag and fine traction despite the demands placed on the front axle. And obviously this is a front wheel drive car. It really does have a lot of power in that front axle. It is incredible for a front wheel drive car. The throttle is very lazy in comfort, but more than sharp enough in sport, so there's no need to move to the R Plus mode to feel the 316 brake 4-cylinder motor really come alive, because it really does come alive. You hear the rev changes, the engine just completely overhauls itself to match itself in that Plus mode situation, and it really does feel alive. The engine pulls confidently all the way to 7,000 RPM in that car. It is ridiculous. And the short frame manual gearbox, okay, is easily the best box in the class, if not one of the finest manual gearboxes currently on the market. And I totally hold my hat off and say that that is, in this car, one of the best manual gearboxes I have ever driven. It is brilliant. So yeah, moving on. This doesn't feel like a hot hatch in a flighty, traditional, tail-happy mould. Rather, its majors or ruthless speed and stability, clean and precise steering, and impressive levels of grip that this car has, guys. It really is just an overall excellent car. It's easy to sense the qualities here that must have assisted the successful ring record attempt. Now, obviously, you guys were aware that the car went around the Nürburgring in a ridiculously stupid time of something like 7 minutes 42, just off the top of my head. Correct me in the comments below, guys, if that's completely different to what there is, but it's around about that time, and it really is an incredible car to basically drive. It is very quick. But let's move on, guys, to the interior of the car. Inside, the cabin has a much simplified layout with less cluttered instrumentation and a cleaner design, so it's a bit more sleek. The car inside is a lot more sleek, guys. And then before, the driving position is good. The gear lever just a quick grab away from the steering wheel, which is pretty awesome with that silver kind of ball that you've got, and it feels really nice. It's just easy, and the striking bucking seats are especially supportive. Like I said, these seats are very supportive, guys. You really do sit nicely planted into these seats that are in the car. We need a longer drive, or I need a longer drive to basically have an idea of how good the new Type R is. Like I said, I've now bought this car off Honda, but unfortunately it is now going to be sold again, so I'm not going to really have that much time in it. And the thing is, I don't want to put too much miles on the clock, because obviously if I do sell it, I don't want to have it with high mileage. But it's patently clear that the new Civic is a very serious contender to a lot of these hatchbacks out there at the moment. Now, as I said, I own one of these hatchbacks. I own one of these hot hatch cars, the AMG A45, and I love that car. But sometimes when you drive that car, it does feel a little bit kind of like computer generated, if that makes any sense. It feels a little bit kind of fake, whereas the Civic just feels a lot more like a car. You actually drive it rather than kind of let everything else do its job. But other than that, saying that, the AMG is a brilliant car. They are both different kind of cars, manual, automatic. It is completely different. So anyway, before we finish, I'm just going to kind of go into the specs and prices or specifications of what you can actually buy, because obviously this car has a few optional extras on the car. And prices of the new Honda Civic start, or have already been released, obviously, for the guys that obviously bought the car like myself. Now, obviously, I didn't pay this price for it, but for a brand new 316 brake horsepower, they're one of the best hot hatches in the UK, in the market at the moment. Okay, just comes in at £30,000, just shy of 31,000. I think it's £30,995. So it's representing a £1,000 premium over its predecessor from the last gen Civic. So the latest Civic Type R will be available in 2 trims like before, with the base car starting at £30,995, which is what I said, and the more generously specified GT model at £32,995, which is the model of the car that we've got here today. So for the extra cash, the GT model gets additional equipment like cross traffic alert, dual zone climate control, and also dimming rear view mirror, Honda's Connect infotainment system with embedded satellite navigation, wireless mobile charging, and LED fog lights. Now, to make the wireless charger work, you need a current gen phone that will support wireless charging. So like the new iPhone 10, Samsung Galaxy 8, Samsung Galaxy 8, the Note even, sorry. All those newer phones will support wireless charging, will work in this car, and it will work very well. Anything kind of below that, I think even iPhone 8 may work on it. I haven't tried it yet, but it is an incredible car. It has a lot of features. Now, inside this car, there is obviously the optional extras. Now, the optional extras that are inside this car are the rear boot seal. Okay, the rear boot seal comes as standard as a bit of plastic. If you want to kind of support that and give it a bit more protection, you can get a chrome seal that looks a little bit cool, makes it look a little bit more kind of fancy, and that's an extra few £100. Obviously, the cars come with imitation carbon, so it's not actually real carbon, it's imitation. It looks like carbon, but it's not. But you can actually upgrade to real carbon inside and out, and they do an interior and exterior pack for an extra few £. Now, I believe that the interior pack for this car is to upgrade to all the carbon inside the car, door seals, dash, driver centre console, all that. That's £1,200 just for that extra. So obviously you've got all the optional extras outside the car as well. Is it worth doing it? It's up to you guys. It's your cash, it's your money you're going to spend on this car, but it does look very, very good, and I like it. Coming back to some stuff inside the car as well, floor mats, the Type R floor mats that are in this car. The Type R floor mats come to this car, but they do not actually come as standard. You have to buy them as extras. Yeah, and they do obviously have a little bits and bobs as well that they do extras, other seats and things like that. But yeah, your Honda dealer or wherever your nearest Honda dealer is can discuss that with you and go through all the different specifications for the car. You could really spec it up, and you could probably spend at least 40 grand on this car. And obviously this car is standard from all the specs I've been put on it. It was a £37,000 car, but I didn't pay that for it, which was a great deal. So that said, guys, I just want to finish off with the Honda Civic Type R Nürburgring lap record, because obviously, as I've just mentioned, it has the Nürburgring track record from the hottest lap around the Nürburgring. Okay, so this is aimed directly at competition like the Ford Focus RS and recently updated Volkswagen Golf R. The latest Honda Civic Type R may not be the most powerful hot hatch around, with its 316 brake horsepower, 2-litre turbocharged engine, but it's proved that sheer muscle isn't everything by taking a new front-wheel drive track to the Nürburgring, and it really, really performed very, very well. The title of the fastest front-driven car is one that the old Type R held for almost 2 years, for you guys that didn't know that. Before was unsured in April 2016 by Volkswagen Golf GTI Club Sport S. But now, the Honda Civic reclaims its crown, beating the Golf's 7 minute and 49 second record with a blistering time of 7 minutes 44 seconds. So, guys, that is basically it. 7 minutes 44 seconds is an absolutely blistering time. I will leave a link down below so you can watch that to your heart's content of that video if you want to watch that. All that. The Civic going around the track is absolutely brilliant. Though the car that set the hot lap was technically a development car, Honda claims it was technically representative of a production specification. A floating roll cage was installed for safety but did not provide any additional structural rigidity. Honda says, and the added weight was compensated for by removing the rear seats and infotainment system. The lap was run on a track-focused but fully road-legal tyres. So it's there wasn't much difference in the sense, guys, of what was in the car that went around the track and to what you have in your standard car. So how did the Type R improve its time so much over the old model? Honda says it's mainly due to the overall improved stability,
lead chassis engineer said that cornering speed achieved in the new Type R is higher because the car features a wider track and tyres, a longer wheelbase, new multi-link suspension in the rear, and improved aerodynamics that improve stability. So guys, it is an absolutely incredible car. It is excellent. I love this car very, very much, and I'll be very, very sad when it does go. But unfortunately, like I said, it has to go, guys. It's got to go. And yeah, we will do a farewell video of it going to Targa Florio. And yeah, that's basically it. That is as much I can give, as information I can give you at the moment, that I feel is necessary. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to leave a like. Please comment on the video. Tell me what you think of the new Type R. And yeah, obviously, please subscribe to the channel, guys. We are doing very well on subscribers. We are slowly building them up. If there's anything out there, guys, you want me to do, video related, if you want me to go out and review something, next week we are going out and we are reviewing the new Bentley GT Continental, or Continental GT should I say, which comes out, or it's being released next week. So stay tuned for that, guys. That's on the 20th of November. So I'll be down at Bristol Bentley to go and see that new car be released for the first time, and I'll give my thoughts and reviews on it, guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care.